Are you willingly agreeing to be a slave to stress? Stress is all around us. We can't escape it, but stress has some pretty scary effects on us. It affects our health, both physically and psychologically, and it can affect life beyond just our health. It can help us when we handle stress appropriately and react to it properly, or it can be detrimental and ruin relationships, ruin jobs, ruin situations, ruin lives if taken too far. I want you to realize that you are not powerless unless you make excuses. Of course, life is stressful. Your life is stressful. My life is stressful. Everybody's life is stressful to some degree. Part of how stressful your life is depends on your own perception of the stressor in your life, the situation or the person, whatever's stressing you out. I already discussed your reactions to emotions and stress in one of my other videos, so check that out. But the bottom line is that it's up to us how we react. It's up to you how you react to your emotions and the situations in your life. So you can either take control of yourself and your reactions, or you can use stress as an excuse and essentially volunteer to be the slave for stress. Everybody has stress in their lives, but not everybody uses it as an excuse. So the choice is yours. Do you want to bellyache that life is too stressful and just lie down and give up? Or are you going to do something about it? You have to become empowered. You have to take control back. Look, stress isn't going away. You know that. You are going to experience stress to some degree in some way throughout your lifetime. Even if you move to paradise, there would probably be something that stresses you out there. Maybe you'd have a lot less stress, certainly different kinds of stress, but there would be stress nonetheless. I want you to take responsibility for yourself, become strong and resilient, and recognize that the choice is yours. Now, before you cringe at my suggestion of you taking responsibility, let me explain something about that word, which can sometimes be very loaded. Responsibility can have some negative things associated with it, but bear with me and I'll show you how it's just the opposite of that. Responsibility is the ability to respond. Imagine if I took away your ability to respond to things in life. Responsibility breaks down into that, our ability to respond. We're giving a response. So even though somehow this got twisted into responsibility being a bad thing, it's really about empowerment. Think about how you would react, and I would guess that you would not react very well if I told you you no longer have the ability to respond. That's it, you're done. You'd probably have an issue with that. So don't look at responsibility as a bad thing. It is your ability to respond. It is your choice in how you're going to respond. So embrace it, understand it for what it is. Life is a series of choices, and I want you to know that. The choice is yours. You can either become victimized by stress, become weakened and defeated by stress, or not. It really is up to you. I'm not suggesting that the journey would be easy. I'm not suggesting that the battle will be instantly won. But if you're not willing to fight for yourself, if you're not willing to take the power back, then who's going to do it for you? Nobody. You know that. So I want you to think about that. Become empowered. Take your power back. Again, stress is everywhere. It's not going away. Yes, we may be able to reduce some of the stress in our lives, but we can't eliminate it altogether. So it's up to us what we do about it. Do we sit there and make excuses? Do you sit there and make excuses? Or are you going to take responsibility for yourself and what you do with the stress in your life? So stop volunteering to be a slave. Stop volunteering to answer to a master. You are not a slave. You are a free human being who has choices. And although we may not have a choice about everything in our lives, we certainly don't. I understand that. But you have a choice when it comes to you. You have a choice in how you react and respond. You have a choice. It's a decision. It's your decision. Don't let somebody else take that away from you. Don't let something else like stress or a situation or another person control you because you've given the power away. That's not what was meant for you. You are on this earth to live a full, happy, and healthy life. So take back your power. Stop being a slave to stress. Embrace your responsibility, because what your responsibility comes down to is your ability to respond. Don't give up your power. Don't give up your ability to respond. So how do you take your power back? You may be wondering what to do. Well, first you have to get a baseline reading, if you will. You have to assess the situation. Are you using stress as an excuse? Are you essentially a slave to stress just because stress is real and stress is part of life and it's never going to completely go away? Is that your reasoning for giving up? You have to kind of zoom out and assess the situation. And sometimes it helps to engage a trusted friend or family member, or maybe more than one person, to give you some feedback. Once you understand your own situation, you have to be proactive in the choices that you make every day. Is the fact that you have stress in your life holding you back, holding you down, and affecting your life, and not for the better? If you answered yes to any of that, ask yourself some probing questions. How is stress affecting you? How is stress holding you back or holding you down? And once you are able to identify more specific things, that's how you can start to make changes in your life. So let me give you an example. If you are a stress eater, or if your diet is poor because you use stress as an excuse, then once you identify that, it is your responsibility and your choice to improve your dietary intake, to improve your diet, the food choices that you make. That's absolutely up to you, 100%. Even if sometimes you are in a situation where you really don't have very healthy food choices. Maybe you are traveling, you are on a business trip or something similar. You can always make the best choice out of what's there and then ensure that your subsequent meals are healthy. If your pantry in your fridge is filled with junk food or unhealthy food or highly processed food, you know what to do. I don't need to tell you what to do about it. If a poor diet is nothing more than your response to a stressful life, that is your cue to make a change. Remember, choices and responsibility. So take an assessment of what's going on in your life. Are you using stress as an excuse? Is stress dictating how you live your life? Or are you empowered enough and strong enough to be in charge of your own life? And if you're not yet, that's okay. Recognizing where you are is a starting point. And remember, it's a journey. It takes time. And sometimes you'll slip up, and that's okay. That's part of the experience. But as long as you keep your eye on the prize, which is health and strength and resilience, and keep going in the right direction, you're doing good. Check out some of my other videos to learn more about proper stress management.